So straight out of Compton, did you got a chance to watch it this week?
Yeah, it was a bit split up because I had to leave during the movie, but I was able to finish it later,
Right.
so
So you've seen it. My,
I've seen it. It's just a bit staggered, but
so
I've seen it.
um, so basically, it opened up. It opened up in Australia this weekend, right?
Yeah, it came out on Thursday, and it's already easily our most popular
I was
movie.
going to say, is it popular? I've seen a lot of stuff
Extremely
on
popular.
Facebook about people really keen to go see it from my friends anyway.
Yeah, we've been getting requests for it for weeks because obviously it came out in America a while ago.
I think
Um,
4 weeks ago now. Yeah, 4 weeks it's been out in America.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's because like all our posters and advertising material, they have the American release date on stuff. So they're like, oh, when is this coming out? Like, we're really keen to see it. We've been getting non-stop requests since it came out in America.
Yeah. It's just
So that's
annoying that
good.
they do those split releases, like delay stuff for Australia. It always happens with Tarantino movies, which really pisses me off because
Yeah,
I love Tarantino, and they always
yeah,
split it, and we get it so much later in Australia, and then they wonder why people pirate so much in Australia. It's like, yeah, because we
exactly.
get
You know,
used to it, and Australians get used to it. Uh, they get suckered into it when they really want to see something because it doesn't come out at the same time. And then once they
exactly.
realize they
And
can
you have to do it to avoid spoilers and
once they get
like
away
we
with it once, then they realize they may as well just do it for everything. It's like if you just released
exactly,
everything, so people would still be scared about pirating. They wouldn't do it for everything.
exactly. You know, we actually get most of the Marvel movies before America.
Yeah, we get it like a day or so before.
No,
Yeah.
like a couple of weeks usually,
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
1 to 2 weeks.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Avengers. I think we got like a month before America did,
No
which was insane.
way.
Yeah, actually,
That sounds
like
ludicrous.
I think it was 3 or 4 weeks.
Age of Ultron.
The first Avengers.
Yeah.
The Age of Ultron, we still got like 2 weeks early. I'm
Actually,
pretty
you're
sure.
right though, because I do remember going and seeing that one before I was out in America.
Yeah,
And Australians were the first people posting about it on 9gag and stuff like that. And everyone's
yeah, exactly.
because I remember everyone was like, the main like post about it was, "Don't worry, guys, it's everything we hoped for,"
Yeah, exactly.
which is true. That was a fucking amazing movie. Anyway, we're not here to review Avengers. We're here to review Straight Outta Compton. So we've both seen it. You had it split up because you watched the ending in a different session. I had it split up because over here in Switzerland they have intermissions. So I had a 10-minute intermission.
Right.
So we both watched a split up version of it. What did you think? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was one of the better movies I've seen all year, I think.
Oh wow. That's
I put it, I
high
put it in my
praise.
my top five, I think.
Um, yeah, it's probably top five than what I've seen as well. But I haven't seen Inside Out yet, which I have high hopes for.
But,
Oh wait,
yeah,
no, sorry, it's terrible until
five year
otherwise proven. um, yeah, no, yeah, I think it was really good. I think it was really good. Did you have any sort of nostalgia towards it? I mean,
um, sort of. I mean, as you know, like I was born in '92. Like this stuff all happened really before
you
my era.
you old duck.
Yeah, but I do remember, you know, as a kid getting into Eminem and 8 Mile and that stuff, and then
Yeah,
um, you know, after that getting into like Beastie Boys and NWA, mostly through you actually getting into that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So like anytime the song started playing, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good song. It's
yeah.
a good track.
So to get a good track, oh, you really are cool. You the new Dr. Dre. Bloody hell. I'm just gonna spin this track. This is a real sick track. Mofo.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, so it was NWA and the movie where it's set is actually before my time as well. But I think it's fair to say that I was
yeah,
probably
exactly.
more into the music than you were when we were growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Like everything I knew about it, like pretty much gleaned through
yeah,
you,
to
I
give
think.
people an idea, I was born in '88 and you were born in '92.
Yeah,
And the movie pretty much starts off in, I think, 87 or 86 maybe. So this is when they're really not known at all. Dre's not doing any music. Eazy-E's, still dealing drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
So basically, they had pretty much become big by the time I was born. So I wasn't really listening to them straight out of the womb. I didn't come out with a big, with a big, flipping off the police out of the womb. Fuck the police! So really, the way I got into it... Yeah, go on.
For authority.
Yeah. Keeping me down in the womb, there's bloody police. But
being buffed out of this cage.
Yeah. But the way I really got into him was what happened is probably around 99, 98, probably Eminem had come out and become really popular.
Yeah.
And he was produced by Dr. Dre and formed what was called D12.
Really.
Which was like essentially this group of sort of rap hip hop guys. And that was really
like
big.
A rap supergroup, right?
Yeah, sorry?
It was like a rap supergroup kind of thing.
Sort of. I mean, it was just a rap group. That's what they were all doing back then. It was like you just get a group of people.
Yeah, but I mean, like they were all like pretty well-known artists and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, well, Dre was behind them, so Dre was getting. They were either big or they were becoming big, I think. And basically, that was hugely popular amongst my friends. And once you started getting into that, you sort of went into the back catalogue and you sort of started to really work out what Dre was doing before, and you discovered Eazy-E. Not so much Ice Cube. I don't think I was really into Ice Cube all that much, other than when he was with the guys from NWA and they were doing Boys in the Hood or whatever it is, and Straight Outta Compton and all that sort of stuff. But the thing is, I think that music was so iconic and so popular that it's like one of those things that, yes, they lasted, and we had heard those songs well after they were released. I think things like Triple J and Rage would play them well after their so-called expiry date. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. They're still playing it.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's incredibly iconic and perfect for a biopic, which is what they've made here, which is, as we both said, very good movie. So to go through the plot, let's talk about the plot for a second. So basically, as I said, it was set in the late 80s and goes all the way up to basically 95. And it's the story of NWA, which is this rap group or hip hop group, whatever you want to call them, who really, I guess, I don't know if they were the first guys in the business, but the rap business was really small at the time, and these guys really put their stamp on it and made it very popular to a widespread audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With their reality rap, as they called it.
Yeah. And that's true. I mean, another thing that the movie touches on is all this violence against, I guess, minorities and black people in America from the police, and how they were all just constantly getting harassed by the police. And I mean, Fuck the Police is the perfect example of why they became popular, because they were talking about what was going on in those communities, and it was resonating, and it was also like it was hitting a pinnacle, like a breaking point for the community as well. And then that's why you got the LA riots that also play into the movie as well.
Yeah, exactly. They were giving voice to these people that didn't have a voice before.
Exactly. And I don't know if you know this, but even in Australia, the Fuck the Police song was banned. And the only station that would play it was Triple J. Or it might have been Double J back in the day, but I think it was Triple J at this point. And they, as far as I'm aware, and I haven't looked into this for a while, but from memory, they were actually under a lot of pressure to stop playing that song as well from the government authorities and saying you couldn't play this. And they took a stand and they played it, and it was actually instrumental in what made Triple J really popular.
Yeah.
Because they were playing this music that was seen as underground but also resonating a bit and all that sort of stuff. Even though, you know, what was going on in Australia was not the same racial issues as what was going on in America, but I think it captured a feeling amongst the audience of, you know, this rebelliousness against authority and, you know, not letting the man keep us down type thing. That was the 90s angst sort of thing that's, well, it's probably not just for the 90s. That's just a teenage attitude.
That's just the
attitude of young people. Yeah. But yeah, so it covers that era, but it's really about, I guess, basically three or maybe four main characters, right? So it's Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube, which I guess were probably seen as the three instrumental people in what was the albums Boys in the Hood and Straight Outta Compton and all that sort of stuff that really got them going. So did you know much of the details of this story going into the movie, or was it all sort of come to light once you were there?
I gleaned a lot of stuff before the movie. Like I know a little bit about like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. Ice Cube especially, now that, you know, he's like this big well-known actor. Like I knew a fair bit about him.
Ice Cube or Dr. Dre?
Ice Cube.
Well, they're both,
Dr. Dre, I know, like a couple details about and all that. But Eazy-E, like I didn't really know anything about him.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that he, like, spoiler alert for those.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Like real life, I guess. But I didn't know he died from AIDS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was shocking to me. I didn't see that coming in the movie because like I didn't know that happened.
Right. They foreshadowed it in the movie really well, I think, because it was a foreshadow that wasn't an obvious flag. It was one of those foreshadows that once you realized what had happened, you could go back and say that was he said not to do that. Do you know what part I'm referring to there?
Yeah. Like that's exactly right. Like I didn't even like think about it until the end of the movie. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because when there was they're having that scene with Eazy-E and Jerry at the cafe, and there's like he's like, you got to put a robber on it or whatever. You don't know where these girls have been or something, and then it exactly. quickly transitions into a talk of contracts and all that sort of stuff, and because Ice Cube comes in, so it's sort of like a throwaway line, but that line is actually really important when you look back at the end of the movie when you know what happened with Eazy-E and the AIDS situation. So I thought it was really well done. I must say I probably knew quite a bit of it, and I probably knew more about stuff that happens towards the end of the movie and after the movie that is, I guess it influences my view of what happens towards the end of the movie, but I'll get into that in a bit more.
Right.
What did you think? Do you think it was it's a biopic, and there's been plenty of biopics that have done really well, and it's obviously something that Hollywood keeps going back to because, you know, sometimes real life is stranger than fiction in many ways, and can actually tell better stories than people like the writer of American Ultra come up with. Not that we've even seen that movie, but we're just going to rag on it for the rest of this episode.
Throwing so much shade at it.
Yeah. But this is an interesting one because Dr. Dre and Ice Cube produced the movie and essentially had the final say on it, which is, I think, a little bit unusual. Did you get a sense that actually played a part while you were watching it? Do you think that anything was sort of, you know, anyone was over glamorized or some truths were not whole truths or anything like that?
Yeah, I think like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, like especially, have kind of shady past that they really gloss over in the movie. Like, was it Dr. Dre beat some female interviewer so bad that she ended up suing him for $2 million, and
they settled out of court. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he like dangled Vanilla Ice over the edge of a balcony
No, no,
to
no, no,
get
no, no, no.
the
That wasn't Dr. Dre. By the way, alleged. Anything we say here is
alleged.
alleged. You
Yeah,
don't want
sorry,
to, don't want to get
alleged.
sued here. But no, that Suge Knight allegedly dangled a Vanilla Ice over the
No, but
balcony.
it was Shoe Knight and Dr. Dre apparently, from what
Well,
I last heard.
from
But
what
this is allegedly, you know, like you can't really glean it.
No,
But he
but
has a
it's all
history of
alleged.
like
But and it's funny
there's a
because
history of
Ice
like
Cube,
violence against women and that kind of
Vanilla
stuff.
Ice said it happened, and then 2 years later in a separate interview he said it didn't happen. So it's like, okay, yeah, it did happen. It was like, well, allegedly, but it's like he obviously had come to some sort of arrangement. But no, that was that was a Suge Knight situation as it's reported anyway. I think.
Yeah.
And not saying it happened, but the alleged story is that Suge Knight went up and on behalf of another artist, which wasn't Dre but someone else, who was trying to get money for some lyrics that he wrote for Vanilla Ice's album, and Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice refused to
Together.
pay up, so Suge Knight took him out to the balcony and was like, look at this view, and sort of held him over the balcony and scared the shit out of him trying to get the money. And apparently,
Yeah.
and
To get the
again,
money
this is
for,
all
like, the
this is all stuff that
or
I've read.
whatever.
I don't know if it's true, but it's Vanilla Ice still didn't pay up. so I don't know if it achieved anything, but who knows? Suge Knight's a nutcase as far as
Yeah,
as far as I can see. Um,
But yeah, there's definitely shady stuff in their past, like definitely like violence and
Well, I think Dr.
uh,
Dre is probably the one that entered the media the most, which is this alleged beating of the reporter. I can't remember
Yeah,
her
that's
name at
right.
the moment, but and it's obviously totally missed out of the movie.
yeah,
Um,
and yeah, they're
yeah,
portrayed as like these. Well, I guess that they're portrayed as just geniuses.
yeah. But they
They're,
are actually.
they're the most
I actually don't have a problem so
artistic
much with that
minds.
because they are in many ways geniuses. They
Yeah, they
are
pioneered. The
incredibly
whole,
talented people. Um,
yeah, but yeah, they're kind of almost presented as like flawless,
yeah, well, they're
um,
certainly not flawless, and I think that they would.
feel good characters, and Eazy-E's really, I think, the one who really sort of carries the movie through like the emotional part.
Well, I was going to say this is, to me, the movie really is the story of Eazy-E. I think it's like, even though
Yeah, I think he's the true
I said in the
focus.
breakdown it's Eazy-E, Dre, and Ice Cube, but I feel like that the core of the story is Eazy-E. It starts
Yeah,
with him and
like
it
it
finishes with
opens
him,
with him.
and that's what the
Yeah,
movie does really well. I think his story is really interesting. The Dre and Ice Cube story is probably interesting as well, but I just don't think that we got all the gritty detail of it, and
that's right.
we probably didn't get all the gritty detail of Eazy-E as well. So, because Dre and Ice Cube are trying to honor his memory as well in a way, do you know what I mean? By making this movie,
Yeah, I do think that.
I think that
And
Dre came out and said this movie is his legacy,
yeah,
and
and in a way it is like
yeah, but I think that also tells you something. It's like he doesn't want to put in every, you know, the bad details about him beating that thing, and that was actually directly relevant to
yeah,
the
that's right.
movie as well. There's actually, because the reason why he allegedly beat that woman was because that she did a report on the Ice Cube diss rap, when he was dissing Dr.
Yeah, when
Dre or something.
yeah,
And so Dr. Dre went and allegedly beat her up for doing a story on that. And
yeah,
that's in the movie, that conflict. But the whole
yeah,
thing
that's
wasn't.
right.
Um,